I love this because it's playing off of the inspiration from Valentino, but then it's got my own personal B. Jones style spin. Hello and welcome to the Dress Up Closet. We are here inside to take a little journey, diving into what I wear in a week. And before we start getting dressed for the entire week, I wanted to introduce you to today's sponsor, which is Laundry Sauce. And I have been using Laundry Sauce for the last few months, and honestly, it's completely rejuvenated my laundry experience because their scents are unbelievable. The laundry pods make doing laundry so luxurious. I'm not even kidding when I interact with my clothes, my sheets, my linens, anything that goes into the wash now smells like heaven. And it makes everything feel super soft and smell amazing. I feel like Laundry Sauce has also made my life more simple because the pre-measured pods just make it great and easy. I toss my clothes in, I toss the pods in, bing, bam, boom, everything's good to go. Plus, they're eco-friendly and the packaging is made with recycled materials, which always makes me feel really good. And it's not just the laundry pods. I also have scent booster beads and dryer sheets. So the scent really soaks into the clothes, the sheets, the towels, everything. And so all throughout the week, I smell amazing, my family smells amazing, my bed smells amazing, after the shower with my towel smells amazing. I'm really not kidding here. It's made everything, I don't know, just feel like an upgrade. And to be honest, laundry has been very low on my list of things that I like to do, but I have to say Laundry Sauce has made it less of a chore and made it more of a luxurious experience. And when everything smells amazing, it just sets you and your week up just to be better, to feel a little bit of extra joy. So I just want to thank Laundry Sauce for being the partner for today's video. And if you want to elevate your laundry experience like me, you can actually scan this QR code right here on the screen or head to the link down in my video description below and use the code BJonesStyle15 to get 15% off your order, and you will be experiencing what I am, which is elevation for your laundry experience. You will thank me. All right, so we're gonna get dressed here in the Dress Up Closet this week. And today's Monday, so honestly, I have no idea what I want to wear today. I really don't. Sometimes I will look at, I like to save photos of things that I recently found, and then it jogs my mind to play dress up with those pieces. Also, sometimes I just look for a little bit of inspiration or grab a piece. So I don't know, let me kind of feel things out and I'm going to check back in with you. There is not really one thing that's sticking out to me, except that I want to be mostly kind of cozy. So I feel like that's what's distracting me right now versus, you know, like a certain thought or piece. So whenever I want to be cozy, I feel like one of my go-to kind of inspirations or formulas is, I think of it as workwear, men's workwear, like a Carhartt, a chore jacket, army pants, camo. Really a lot of those pieces are kind of my go-tos when it comes to just being comfortable, but also feeling fun. I don't know, I might start here with these white Carhartt pants that have paint all over them. And I'm wondering if I could do the pant tucked trousers, which I feel like I haven't really talked about here on YouTube, but if you hop over to my Instagram, I feel like I started referring to it as the pant tucked trouser season. I'm all about it right now. I feel like we go through cycles. Sometimes that is like exciting and then sometimes it dies out and then it comes back. And right now I feel like it's back. And I like this idea of it being the pant tucked trouser season because we're in fall and winter. And I've seen it a lot. Maddie, putting her right here, has been rocking it and looking so fierce. Also, Brittany, which Have you met Brittany? I feel like she's definitely been on my Instagram. She works at Crossroads. She's a manager at the Crossroads on Melrose Avenue. You need to go visit that store, and you need to visit Brittany, because every single time I see her, she blows me away with her outfits. And I saw her recently, and she was rocking the pant tucked trouser. Anyways, I'm just loving all of that inspiration. I have as well been rocking it. So anyways, all that to say, I don't know if they're going to work with these pants, but now that I'm talking about it a lot, I think that's what I want to do today. I just have got to find the right combo. So I am loving this. The painter pants tucked into my Fry boots. I probably have talked about this, but I do think this is the oldest piece in my closet. I found these boots at a tiny hole-in-a-wall thrift store in El Segundo, California, probably in 2003, 2002, something like that. And they were $5, and they just seemed great at the time. And then they have just been a mainstay in my life since then, which I don't even know how long that's been, 20 some years. Anyways, love them. They're always also very comfortable. These are a great shoe when I just want to kind of be running around doing errands all day, which is what I'm going to go do. And then I have a baseball game, my son's baseball game tonight. They keep me warm, they're comfortable, and they're cool. I love them. And honestly, the wear and tear on them makes them even better. And I do feel like you have to have shoes like that in your closet. I think, you know, it could be sneakers for sure, but I think having just like something that feels very always play dress up for you. For me, those are these boots, but I also love like a Doc Marten boot or something like that. But just having those very workable shoes that feel kind of interesting and fun at the same time. And these are them. Okay. All that to say, now that I've got this going on, it reminded me of an inspiration. I'm going to put up the video right here, but I love seeing Anthropologie's TikTok videos, in particular. The head of styling, Kyla Flax, to me is so inspiring. I love their work there, and I just love to see what they talk about, what they do. And I don't know, Kyla, you're amazing. They were styling, I think in like Jackson Hole or Wyoming or something, kind of wintry looks, and rocking the boot tuck trouser season. But one of the things she talked about in styling was kind of grabbing maybe like a base layer, like a button down, and then a cozy sweater over it. So I'm liking that idea. I'm not sure what combo I'm gonna do, but I think that's the direction we're gonna go in. So I've landed, you might see there's a little mess back here because I wanted to play around with different combos. And what I'm really liking is more of a shrunken fit because of all the volume, you know, down here and kind of the ballooning happening with the pants. So I'm wearing the little kind of plaid shrunken shirt that I found at my thrift road trip to Palm Springs, which I'm so happy to finally pull it out. I've been talking a lot about how I have oversized button downs and that I've been wanting more of this shrunken fit, and this is the reason why I want to be able to play with proportions and not always just go towards the larger button down. I think having some of these smaller pieces in the mix is a really good idea, and I think I showed this to you a second ago, but I found this in last week's video where we thrifted Paris street style. I got this one mainly because the same idea, it's more tailored, and I feel like for layering purposes that makes it nice just to have options for playing with proportions. I'm going to keep it kind of simple on top. You can tell this has been a little bit loved. There's some, you know, little extra fur on the sweater, but I think I'm just going to go with a simple navy crew neck sweater over the plaid. And I like, Kyla mentioned in the Anthro video, the pop of color with the plaid. So I think that's fun to kind of go plaid and then this over top. So I am loving this. And this is perfect because this is more of a shrunken sweater. So having a little shrunken button down underneath is perfect because then I can kind of pull out the details, but it's not too much bulk underneath the sweater. And then I might add a layer just to have one it will be chilly at the baseball game. And so I'm going to look at maybe, ooh, no, maybe, no. I was going to say my Carhartt jacket, which I really like a lot. And actually this would be very cute, but I'm like, Carhartt, it might be overkill. So I'm going to dig through and see. I won't need this right now, but I will definitely need a layer tonight at the game. So I'm going with this amazing, I think of it as like a hunter's jacket, like a 70s, I just imagine like that movie October Sky with Jake Gyllenhaal. Do you guys remember that movie? Seems like something they would have worn. I actually like more plaid on top of this, and then it pulls in the fry boot color, which I think is fun. And I think with this outfit, I like the boxy. It's not fully cropped, but it kind of has more of a boxy cropped feel. It's not too long, and it just has like a nice square shape going on with it. But oh, this turned out so fun. Hair. I'm kind of liking this like weird situations happening. Maybe I'll tame it, or I don't know. Let me see. So finalize the look. Just mess with my hair a bit, and I think that's it. This feels so fun and very festive, very inspired by Kyla and her work in anthropology, and it feels perfect, honestly, for the day that I have ahead of me, and then also sitting in the bleachers because it's always cold out there. I don't know if you guys have baseball kids, but I realized how chilly California actually gets. Anyways, okay, that is my Monday. This was so much fun to dress up, and it really surprised me because I came in here with no idea. And this is where it took me, and this kind of, I feel like feels fresh and like a whole new idea that I'll be probably bringing into the holiday festivities and those just like off-duty days. Just thinking of some unique layering that you can play around with. Here's the look from the bottom to the top. And that is my Monday for y'all. See you tomorrow. Bye. Good morning. Time to get dressed. What am I wearing today? I started to think a little bit about Valentino, which was one of our fall characters, the Valentino icon, designed by Alessandro Michele, and he was at Gucci. Now he's at Valentino. He brings his magic that I am enamored with. I just feel like he speaks to my vintage, loving, quirky soul, and so it makes me very excited whenever he's putting looks on the runway. And I don't know, there's just a whole world that he creates that's so much fun. It was almost an eccentric 70s runway for fall that I loved. And actually, I think I'm going to start with pants that are very much what was on the runway. These are Cezanne, just a classic gray tweed pant. And I'm going to start with this, and then I think I want to do like a sweater vest. I don't know which one, but there's this image here, a few images actually, with this kind of classic 70s pant with sweater vests and maybe some ruffly, interesting pieces happening up top. So that is where I'm starting. I also pulled my hair up. Sometimes I need my hair out of my face so that I can, I don't know, get dressed. I have this one, which feels very on the nose, and I really do love that. And then honestly, this is one of my all-time favorite pieces in my closet, and I found it years ago with Maddie when we did, I think, our first thrifting video together. If you've been with me for a long time, you may remember when I found it. I don't know if I want it to be about a bow. So I might go for more of a ruffle collar and not a bow collar. I might come back to this though. I'm landing the plane. I landed on this white ruffle top. I really realized I wanted a ruffle and not a bow. And I think that's something to think about when you're thinking about, you know, those fun little blouses. So I might kind of tighten up the ruffle here. And then we're just gonna keep on building. A little tip, always have safety pins or styling clips or things that you can play with your clothes with. I just have safety pins on hand because I like to mess with pieces or think of other ways to wear things. And so like today I want this ruffle closer. Probably not going to do this well. I'm not going to do it well on camera. I'll have to redo it. But I just have a safety pin to pin that how I want it. So have safety pins or little styling things, even rubber bands right there in your closet so that you can play. Perfect. I pinned it. So cute. I love that coming out of the neckline there. And then I want to do some kind of a fun necklace. I feel like on the Valentino runway there's those big shell necklaces, and that's been on my list for all of the fall, and I have yet to find one, and I actually had the perfect one and it broke, so that's very sad. But I'm still on the hunt, but I'm gonna see what I have. And this is where I ended up. I went back to my tried and true tassel necklace that also has some shell details, so that's very fun. And then shoes, I feel like it would be really cute with my Badgley Mishka. I always think of these as a tailored shoe, or I could go with the Dalmatian print, which would be very fun. Let's try them both. Scratch that. We're just gonna go with shoes that Alessandro designed for Gucci because that feels appropriate for this look. And honestly, anytime I wear them, they're such a moment, a statement. They just feel right. And these were, honestly, I think these are my only, well, my Ganni shoes were definitely an investment, but these were my very first brand new designer, not used piece that I ever bought. And I think they might even be the only one. And they're really special. And I just feel like having those pieces that you just kind of collect that mean, something to you and kind of feel really special are worth the investment. And to me, they're so 70s and weird that they actually end up feeling timeless instead of just based on a trend. Like this feels just like a shoe that I would see in a closet in 1976. And so to me, there's like a timelessness to them. And I really just feel like they'll always feel right no matter what. Even if I go through a season where I don't wear them as much, I will return to them. I know I will. Just an example of that is like the Chanel little kind of ballet flat with a little kitten heel. For a while that felt maybe like too prim, and then it circled back around. So these pieces cycle back around and I just love them, and that feels perfect. Okay, I gotta figure out hair, which I maybe keep simple. Maybe I'll do a hat. Every season I have a hat I fall in love with, and it kind of becomes my entire fall personality, and this is the hat. I can't stop wearing it. It just always, I just scared my dog. It just always feels right now, and it feels fresh. I feel like this was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. This was last year. I think those are definitely like my two. Oh, and then I have my sailor hat that is like at the spring summer hat. But this has been the 2026 fall hat, and it just feels right. I think because of the necklace, I don't want to do a big earring, but I'm thinking maybe like a little pearl or something simple. I couldn't find the match to the pearl in this moment, so I went with just a very simple little rhinestoney hoop. These are Ana Luisa, and just like a good little pop of something there. I wanted something, but nothing too big, because I do kind of feel like this is the statement piece for the outfit. Also, just a little styling note. With this vest, I could wear it kind of up like that. I think I'm gonna wear it more long and dramatic. I just feel like with the hat and the ruffle, it almost feels Harlequin. And so that feels perfect. And I love this because it's playing off of the inspiration from Valentino, but then it's got my own personal B. Jones style spin. And I feel like that's the fun of being inspired, is seeing it, kind of letting it help you come in your closet and play, but then you discover your own moment and your own magic. Final touches, my tortoiseshell crap eyewear. go-to Pierre Cardin bag. This feels absolutely perfect for my Tuesday. This is my look from the bottom to the top. That is my Tuesday for you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. All right, let's get dressed today. Also, I've just been wearing this Saison. I think I talked about this a few months ago in another What I Wore, but I ordered this on Saison. I'll put the sweater here. And I went with, I think, an extra large, and it's kind of been my go-to morning, evening, a quick run to the grocery store piece. I don't know about you, but I feel like in the fall and winter, I have a cozy cardigan that becomes like just my go-to. It's not even like to get dressed. It's just like my hug that I put on every morning and every evening and light the fire and all that. Anyways, this has been my go-to, and I'll link it down below if you want to shop it as well. I feel like having those little cozy pieces that feel really cute and fun, but also are just like a grab and go piece. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. What I wanted to say was last night, this is something I do sometimes in my closet, is I don't want to put together an outfit necessarily fully for the next day, but I want to have like an idea brewing, especially if I just want to like get that outfit going and get out the door. So last night I did have an idea that I just hung, and that's what I was trying to say, is that I hang it out for myself, like the beginning of an idea. My drawer does not want to shut, which means I probably need to clean out that drawer. I knew that I wanted to wear this amazing jacket, which is a vintage Guatemalan jacket. I have looked online and found other versions of this. So if this is something that you're craving, you can find them. They're very special. They're usually not super cheap. This was definitely an investment piece for me. I got it at an antique store in San Diego, but it's one of those purchases that just, it's a reward every single time because it's so special and it's so well made and it just feels amazing. And I feel like if the weather is cooler, I want to be, pulling this piece out. I want to show you just the detail too. I feel like, I don't know if you can see it. I hope you can. It's corduroy. The lapel is corduroy. And then it has this trim on the side that's, I think it is maybe black, but it almost has like a hunter greenness to it too. I don't know if it is black or if it's just like a kind of a different shade of black, which now that I'm looking at it, I think it is. But I just feel like that makes it even more special. The fact that it's a corduroy lapel and then it has all the trim work and just these amazing details of the buttons and all of it. Anyways, so I hung that up, and then I also grabbed my AG denim that are so incredible. Thank you to AG. They sent these to me and I love them. They're just so unique in the sense that they're also classic, but there's unique details to them. One is that I'll put the description of the style and the link down below, but I don't even know how to describe it. They have this like almost shine in the midst of the denim and like a wash that's really unique. It kind of has this like light flecks within it on, then there's pieces that feel like they're velvet in there. So that in itself to me makes it like a luxe, like dressed up denim. They're also very wide leg and very long. And I have been wearing them. I think I have a few images I'll put up right here. I've been wearing them more with this big cuff. And oh, I have to tell you guys a story. I recently worked with Meta and Glam Hive, and we hosted an event at the Meta Ray-Ban store in Los Angeles, and it was an amazing panel. And one of the panelists is Josie, which for me, Josie has been in the fashion world as a fashion editor, creative director. I mean, he's really just like a fashion icon. And I remember when I started this journey back in 2006, 7, that, oh my gosh, 6, 7. If you have kids, you just had a moment. Anyways, 2000, probably 7, and Josie had entered into being the editor of Elle magazine, and it was very exciting. I love his styling, which look at some of these editorials right here of his. I feel like, I just connect to his styling. Anyways, all that to say, he's been just a huge inspiration for me, and he was one of the panelists, which was so exciting at that Meta event. And so I was able to, chat with him, but do an interview with him. And I think speaking with somebody who just has a long history in the fashion world, and their knowledge is so expansive, and they know so much, and they've seen so much, like really seen fashion history. It just feels like you're drinking from a hose when you talk to them. I was asking him about, the whole panel was about, streetwear and the influence of streetwear within the catwalk. And I was asking him about his experience over his fashion career, like what's the moment that you kind of knew. And I'm going to put right here on screen his answer.
And I think the obvious moments are, of course, when you look at like Yeezy and Off-White, what Virgil did, and all of those moments, which absolutely are rooted in street culture. But I think early on in my career, in the 90s, at the very beginning of this brand new designer who launched his collection named Helmut Lang, debuted on the runway, but he was actually showing jeans with these giant cuffs. And I remember seeing them even the year before in the Face magazine, which was a big British magazine at the time. And it was styled by this brilliant stylist, Melanie Ward, who did this. And she was able to work with Helmut and put that exact same look that was basically a tank top and jeans with giant cuffs onto the runway for one of his early collections. And I really knew then that really street culture, especially via London, was making its way onto runways. And of course, as we know, Helmut Lang became one of the most influential designers of the 90s. But that idea, I was like, oh, this is the beginning of it. And certainly many more iterations. But that moment I knew.
I hope you got all of that. He talked about just that influence of like grunge, and then the big cuff of the denim. I felt like when he said that, I was like, I don't know, it was just fun. It was like he's seen the fashion history and then how it continues to be translated over all of these years. Anyways, all that to say, I've been loving wearing these with a big cuff. So this is where I'm starting today. This is what's in my brain today. And then we'll kind of create an outfit with these two pieces. And something I always do when I put these on is I just grab shoes, probably not even shoes I'm gonna wear. I'm gonna grab the Miu Miu just because they're so long. And so I wanna see, them with their like full height, and I will cuff them, but right now I just putting the shoes on to then keep building. I'm loving the jacket with these denim, and I do feel like just kind of that wash with the velvet mix and stuff seem like the perfect fit for this jacket. Now let's figure out what's going underneath. Speaking of streetwear, this is a streetwear brand long sleeve tee. I'm going to show it to you guys. I think I've talked about that recently. I've been into just like long sleeve t-shirts. I don't know why, they just bring me some joy. And I love something that's kind of graphic, especially white with black graphic. I'm trying to fill in my closet with some of these kind of everyday, comfy, cozy pieces that can dress things down and also just be filler, or I call them canvas pieces, because I have all this kind of stuff. And then I realize I don't have a lot of options when it comes to just the canvas pieces. And so those are important too. And instead of just having like one thing that I always use, I want a few options. And let me show you the t-shirt. Kind of a unique choice maybe for me, but when I saw it, I just loved, honestly, this is what I loved. I love the graphic here at the front and the block letters, like almost like an old newspaper style. And I felt like I know I'll do a lot of layering with this. And so this graphic here will be shown a lot. And I feel like that just perfectly dresses down this look to make it work for today, which I really just want to be comfortable and a little more, I guess, easy breezy today. I'm going to cuff these and figure out shoes. I may even do, my Gani are always a good choice with this, especially when I put these denim on, which is funny now that I'm thinking about Josie's conversation, but it does feel slightly grunge, which is interesting because they're not necessarily like a grunge jean, but for some reason that's what I've experienced when I wear them. So I could do the Gani shoes. The other option is add a little bit of some shine with these great Doc Martens. I got these at Crossroads, I don't even know, 10 years ago. and I wear them all the time. I love the like brassy, coppery color of them. So let's figure it out. Let me see if you all can see this. So I have on the copper shoe, and I have on the Gani, which honestly, I mean, Gani's like my go-to, but part of me is thinking maybe, that's really hard because I just love these shoes from Gani, and I really do love the height that it gives me. Gosh, isn't it funny? I mean, both are great. I'm gonna go with what I love, which is the Gani shoe. I mean, I really do like the Doc Marten as well, but I just think, I know me, and I love a little bit of extra height. I don't know what it is. It's just fun. And I will say the cuff starts to drop a little bit during the day sometimes, so to have that height is good. And then I kind of push these down. You could wear these denim higher waist, but I put them a little bit more on my hips for more of a slouchy look. I was not planning to wear braids. These were just to kind of give my hair a little bit of some texture, so I think I'll pull the braids out. So hair is out. It was funny. This video is sponsored by Laundry Sauce, but I'm obsessed with Laundry Sauce. I was putting this t-shirt on this morning and it smelled so good. And I don't know about you, but that brings a lot of joy when I'm like, it smells amazing. Okay. So I think pretty much this is my look. I'm going to keep it easy otherwise. Oh, it's fun. I've been kind of rotating 2 necklaces lately. You know me, I get on my kicks and I wear something all the time. So I do my Givenchy little knot. That was my birthday. And then this is from, I'm going to link them below, Minerva. I'm kind of loving this. It's a domino. And I love this like very kind of golden-y bead that it's with, and this has just been my go-to. I think that harkens back to my Carrie Bradshaw. You know, I think I learned how to dress from Carrie Bradshaw and really Patricia Field. And there's always like a repeating necklace usually, or a few. And usually there's like a charm or a quirky element to it that really makes no sense with the outfit. This doesn't necessarily make sense, but that's why I like it. And it has little hearts in the domino, and I think that's really cute. Yeah, I think this is it. Let me grab my bag and my sunnies and we're out the door. And I have not switched bags all of fall, I feel like, since I grabbed my Pierre Cardin. This has honestly just been my go-to. I love it. It's so giant, and so it makes it great. I literally put everything in it. There's so much in this. There's artwork of my kids. There's a brush. There's a tripod. There's literally everything in there, so I love that. So here we go from the bottom to the top. That is what I'm wearing today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Good morning. It is actually Friday. I skipped over Thursday, mainly because yesterday was crazy. I was up at 4:30, something like that, and was out the door and gone all day, and then literally came home and it's dark outside by the time I'm home, and then back out the door for a baseball game and then dinner, and literally then crashed. So absolutely no time to film my outfit here inside the dress up closet. But what I thought I would do just quickly is I did film like a little of me chatting through my outfit. So I'm going to show that right now.
I was so inspired by the Etro pre-fall 26 show that involved corsets and pinstripe shirts. It kind of woke up something new in my brain. So I pulled out this vintage Renaissance corset that I found in a thrift store. I cannot believe it. And then paired it with just a really classic men's white and blue pinstripe button down. I am wearing these old Urban Outfitter plaid pants that have the best pleating and shape to them. I wish I knew how to find more of them. They're some of my absolute favorite pants that I got at Crossroads 15 plus years ago. I'm wearing them with my Gani Stomper shoes and some very fun sparkly socks. And then just final details are these boho earrings, again, that I've probably had for 20 plus years, that I really love to rock during my major boho era in the early 2000s. And then I did this really fun kind of knotted mess of a hair that honestly I don't even know how to tell you to do it except to just make a mess on your head. And my Pierre Cardin bag that I basically wear every day now, and that is what I'm wearing today.
So that is what I wore on Thursday, and I wanted to quickly just kind of touch base on my inspiration for my outfit. The like pre-fall is happening right now. I feel like if you work in fashion or maybe something like that, you're always like a year ahead in advance, which is just, that would be odd to kind of live that way, like where you're always a year ahead, like it's already 2026 for you if you're a designer. Anyways, all that to say, I wanted to just touch base. I was looking at, well, actually it all started with the Chanel show, which I feel like we just need to have a whole video dedicated to that. If you haven't seen it, you have to go check it out. It was Chanel, it was in New York, and it was so good. It was in the subway of New York, and like all the models were just like walking through and doing things, and to me it just felt so kind of real and like extra inspiring because the surroundings felt like a real moment in time where people are going to the subway. Anyways, I just loved every minute of every little thing that I saw about the show, and so that had me, you know, looking at pre-fall, and then I fell into the inspiration that is Etro. I love Etro. I feel like it's elevated, like bohemian usually. It feels very luxe and traveled. There's definitely like bohemian, but it's this kind of avant-garde, luxury, fabulous bohemian, like very, anyways. I love it. And there's always amazing prints. They're known for their like etro prints and textures and all of it. And their pre-fall was so good. I loved especially this image with the plaid pants, the kind of bustier that is embroidered or feels like tapestry. And then what I loved was the pinstripe shirt with it. And then if you actually look at a lot of the images in the collection, there's like this very buttoned up pinstripe shirt that you normally would see with a suit or more of like a minimal look or just very kind of corporate or work related. And I loved that mix there of like these very interesting textures and fabrics and prints with that very iconic, you know, pinstripe shirt. So that really inspired me, as you can see in the outfit that I ended up wearing yesterday, which was, I'll show you the outfit. Ooh, it was this corset over this button up, which you may remember I got this at Savers when I did my little Paris street style. I love how it fits, and it was perfect actually for the corset because it was a little more tailored instead of being oversized, which that also could be really great too. But I loved layering it over the shirt. And I think I got this at a thrift store, and it was near a university that has a really great film and theater program. So my guess is that this is from a theater or a film or something like that from the university. That's just my guess. I could be wrong, but it's amazing. This almost Renaissance corset that I found, and it was just hanging in a thrift store. So that is a very special piece that I have. And I paired it with these pants, which are really, really old Urban Outfitters. I got these at Crossroads maybe 17 years ago, and they are a classic in my closet. They are just like the perfect shape. I might have talked about it in the video, but they have a great pleat to them. The plaid is amazing. It has, to me, like a very 90s grunge feel to it. And I also liked that the collection of Etro had a little bit of that. It felt like a little 90s grunge in the mix. And I did, oh, let me show you my belt too that I wore. This is a Streets Ahead belt, which I found at Savers, and check out Streets Ahead. They make really, really great belts that are beautiful, beautifully crafted, really interesting details throughout. And I have another one that I also had found at Crossroads, and they're some of my absolute favorite belts, and they still make belts, so definitely check them out. They are really such a great source for beautiful belts. And then also, of course, use the Gem app to find secondhand ones if you want to do that. But back to these pants, Diane and I were having this conversation about, you know, your closet and the pieces of clothes in your closet, and how there are certain pieces that to me are forever closet pieces that maybe there's something about it for you, or there's just at the core, it's a very classic piece that's timeless and trendless and should just be kept, or it's just something that you absolutely love. And there may be seasons where you don't wear it as much, but know that you should hold on to those pieces and that they will cycle back around through your life in your style. And these pants are that. One of the pieces for me, like I said, I probably have had them 17 years or something like that, and they cycle in and out. And then when they come back, they feel so good every time, and they feel very me. I love it. It's just the core of my trouser love. It's the fit that I love with a pant. It's the plaid, it's the colors, it's everything. Now, I haven't worn them a ton last fall, but I literally think I've been wearing them almost like once a week. They come out on the weekend all the time. I feel like for me, like I even mentioned earlier, I think this week, but my Gucci shoes are that, where this feels, of course they're Gucci, which yes, they're amazing, and so you hold on to that. But for me, everything about this shoe is something that I want to hold on to, that feel like I feel like we talk about canvas pieces and then we feel like the party pieces, but I need to come up with a term for this, and maybe you guys can help me out. But those pieces, they're core. Maybe they're their core pieces that feel like something about them is very core to who you are in your personal style, and that you know, no matter what, to hold on to, because you will cycle back to them and they will just always be a great piece that you get to return to and will feel amazing. So anyways, that's a little bit about my outfit from Thursday, and I had a lot of fun wearing it, and I'm so sorry I didn't get to film putting it on with you, but I hope that gives you a little taste of what I wore. Let's pretend now that was Thursday and we're moving on to Friday. And honestly, I want to be very, very casual today. I kind of am having a fun, cozy Friday. It's the holiday season. Nothing actually crazy this weekend, which feels really nice. It's been so busy for the last 2 months, and then I feel like I hit the ground running again starting next week. I'm sure you all feel that as well, like where it's just nonstop and there's so many activities and all of it, and I love it so much. But this weekend is a little more calm, the calm before the storm. And so I'm going to just soak it up, put on the fire, have coffee in the morning, and take a leisurely pace with it. I want to wear cozy clothes. You know, you get the feeling. I just want to have that cozy weekend, and also maybe do some Christmas shopping and make it, you know, set myself up for success in the next few weeks. So I just want to be very cozy today. I'm basically starting in cozy, and actually I might wear this shirt today. This is a little Levi's shirt, and I think I thrifted it last year or 2 years ago. I think 2 years ago. It ended up becoming a closet staple, so that when I found another one like this one, it's exactly the same in terms of like, it's this long sleeve Levi's shirt. I immediately picked it up because I knew it would be a canvas piece for me that I would often wear. So I think I'm going to start here with just this shirt. It's a great base layer for sweaters and sweatshirts, because like a really good crew neck, especially in a fun color or print, can just add a little pop of something to your outfit. So I'm going to do this, and then I think I'm going to wear these denim, and I have to show them to you. These are from Lawn, which is LWN, and they're LA based brand, and they're so great. They're very wide leg and kind of slouchy with these cool pockets. Hope you can see the detail. And then even like a side cargo pocket. They are an LA-based brand that does small batch designs and just have a really great brand. I feel like definitely check out their Instagram. I'll put them up here on the screen. Everything is responsibly made in LA, and I just love all their pieces. They feel like great additions for your closet. Anyways, they were amazing and sent these to me, and so they are the perfect cozy pair of denim to put on with this shirt for my Friday. As you can see, just really such a great fit. Has this little pleat detail. I love how wide leg they are, and I feel like you could also order a pair that's, if you like it lower on the hips, you could probably go up in size and have a slouchy fit, or even go more of a high waist, or you could just wear it either way, which is really fun. So this is going to be my base, and then I think I'm going to do like a cowboy boot, but I do want a heel. So I'm going to go with my tried and true cowboy boots that are just always a good idea, and I really can wear them all day and feel really comfortable. So I'm going to add that, and then I want to do maybe like a crew neck or something over this just to add one more layer. And I think I'm going to wear this little cream sweatshirt. I think I may have gotten this in a YouTube video as well. I think I got this a few years ago at Savers as well, and this has definitely become like a go-to for me. It's just a perfect little shrunken fit, and I feel like crew neck sweatshirts are my favorite. So I just like how it lets the shirt kind of shine also underneath in the fact that it's more shrunken. And then I'm gonna go with my everyday necklace combo, or not necklace combo, I'm swapping out every day, the Givenchy, and then the other one with the little domino on it. And then I think I want to add a little red scarf, just like a little pop of holiday cheer with a red bandana. And I'm putting it on with the camo jacket that I got, what, like a month or two ago from Savers, which I really love, love, love this one because of this more square, boxier fit versus a longer camo, which is what I feel like I often find. It also has a nice little lining in it and kind of creates some shape and structure to it. And I think I talked about this when I found it, but there are drawstrings inside, which I really also love to add some dimension to the outfit. So I think this is what I'm gonna do for my Friday. Just keep it really cozy, but layered and comfortable. And this just feels exactly what I want to feel today. Just cozy and comfy and full of the holiday spirit, and sit by the fire tonight and just enjoy some Christmas music and all of it. So that is my fit today. So this is my Friday from the bottom to the top. All right, so that is my week of what I wore, and I had so much fun this week just chatting through everything, and I feel like just sharing, you know, more inspirations and thoughts and everything that kind of goes into the whole getting dressed process. And I don't know, I love to share that. I also love to hear other people's thoughts and processes. It's very inspiring to me to hear people's creative process. So I like to do it with you. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. I wanted to give you a few little details. Definitely check me out on Substack. I have Inside the Dress Up Closet that comes out usually every single Tuesday, and there's just always more, you know, kind of inspiration and shopping thoughts and things that are my favorites and all of that in there. And that link is down below as well. And then of course Instagram and TikTok. Oh, and then I just wanted to say, with Instagram lately, I've been having fun adding daily scoop stories, as I call it. So if, you know, I post a photo or if I post a reel or something, then in my stories, I've kind of just been unpacking more maybe thoughts or details, or maybe there's a top I wore and then I actually found, you know, the video of me finding it 3 years ago at a thrift store. And recently I was talking about, I think I was wearing a hat, and I talked about my love of hats, but then also kind of how every season I have a signature hat that just kind of happens. And then that led me into like creating stories that was every year back into, I think I went to 2016, what my signature hat was. And I literally just like dug through old photos of me, which was very fun and funny and just like kind of took me down memory lane for sure. So anyways, I'm just having fun creating content over there on Instagram stories too. So if you see the little, you know, light show up around the bubble there on Instagram, you can expect the scoop to be happening every single day. And that's every day. And then I've been saving them into highlights underneath, and I'm trying to do like an every month. So November has a scoop highlight, and then currently we have, of course, December. So anyways, I'll be back next week on Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then finally, I just want to say, always play dress up. Bye.